MMA fights showcase various techniques from different martial arts, including capoeira. Capoeira was first developed by African slaves brought by the Portuguese to Brazil to work on large plantations in the 1500s. Known for its dance-like movements and emphasis on kicks, capoeira fights are usually accompanied by music called jogo. In the past, they practiced capoeira to traditional musical instruments such as the berimbau and atabaque. Although it looks like a dance, capoeira was the only martial art used by the slaves to defend themselves. Their fights usually took place in a clearing in the forest called capoeira. Some historians believe that this is where the original name of the martial art came from. After the abolition of slavery, capoeira began to be studied by almost all levels of society, including white people in various cities in Brazil such as Rio de Janeiro, Salvador da Bahia, and Recife. However, at that time, capoeira was known to be used for street fighting. Moreover, many capoeira practitioners began to add weapons such as knives or razors to their fights, making capoeira considered illegal in its country of origin. But over time, the reputation of this martial art improved, and capoeira has been studied in various countries from Portugal, Norway, the United States, Australia, Indonesia, Japan, and many more. Capoeira is not only a culture but also a Brazilian national sport. Capoeira teachers always strive to make this iconic martial art better known in the international world, and training is available in schools, universities, small organizations, fitness centers, and many more. To learn capoeira, beginners must first understand the basic movement technique starting from ginga. This movement is a continuous body movement that aims to find the right time to attack or defend. You could say that ginga is almost similar to the stance in other martial arts. The ginga movement starts from a parallel position, which is a position like sitting without a chair. Then the left foot is pulled back together with the right hand forward, then repeated with a parallel position. Then the right foot is pulled back and the left hand forward. It should be noted that the hands and feet that are moved simultaneously must be in different directions. In addition, there is a series of rolling and acrobatic movements in capoeira called 𝗬𝗄. This movement allows capoeira practitioners to quickly overcome takedowns or loss of balance and position themselves around the attacker to prepare for an attack. This combination of attack, defense, and mobility gives capoeira the impression of fluidity and choreographic style. Unfortunately, capoeira is often criticized because many people doubt its effectiveness in real fights compared to other martial arts such as karate or taekwondo. But as we discussed at the beginning of this video, the fact is that capoeira is also often used by many fighters. However, it should be noted that there are many different aspects of capoeira because this martial art is complex. It can be a game, a dance, or even a fight. Even so, capoeira clearly has aspects and applications of self-defense. Depending on the style of capoeira being played, it can tend towards the fighting version or just fun entertainment. Just like other traditional martial arts with high-flying or gymnastic movements, the value of practicing these capoeira movements is that they teach better control of the body, provide better distance for spatial and muscle senses, and lastly, train self-confidence. Not only that, Capoeira practitioners also learn high-speed kicking techniques consisting of front, side, round, back, and some spinning kicks. Although Capoeira does not have blocking abilities like other martial arts, its evasion system from opponents deserves a thumbs up and may be considered the most difficult and unpredictable. Unlike other martial arts that may be linear in attacking or retreating, Capoeira can not only be linear but also circular in any direction, at any height, or even upside down. Counterattacks can be targeted as low as the opponent's ankles when they kick and as low as the entire body a few inches above the floor, or as high as the head in the middle of a jump. In addition to kicks, Capoeira also learns a system of avoiding or defending against opponent attacks. Its defense is based on the principle of non-resistance, which means avoiding attacks by using evasive movements instead of blocking them. Evasion is called esquivas, which depends on the direction of the attack and the intention of the defending player, and can be done standing or with hands resting on the floor. This combat strategy allows for quick and unpredictable counterattacks, the ability to focus on more than one enemy, and face armed enemies with bare hands. With acrobatic movements and unexpected techniques, some MMA fighters have adopted Capoeira techniques to provide an element of surprise in their fights. One of them is 𝗖𝗂𝗲𝗀𝗂𝗀𝗂𝗀𝗂𝗀𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂 In many of his fights, Dos Santos uses typical Capoeira movements such as wheel kicks and other acrobatic movements to attack his opponents. Of the many fights he participated in, one of the most impressive moments was when he managed to defeat Luigi Vendramini with a spectacular KO using a Capoeira kick at UFC Fight Night in 2018. In his fights, Dos Santos combined the flexibility and speed of Capoeira with striking techniques from Muay Thai and grappling from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This combination makes him an unpredictable and dangerous fighter in the octagon. Not only did it make him win many fights, but this strategy also earned him a reputation as one of the most exciting fighters to watch. In addition to Dos Santos, another MMA fighter who often uses Capoeira techniques in his fights is Michel Pereira. This Brazilian is known for his flamboyant and action-packed fighting style and often uses acrobatic Capoeira movements such as backflip kicks and spinning heel kicks to confuse and surprise his opponents. One of Pereira's main strengths is his ability to combine elements of Capoeira with other MMA techniques such as striking and submission. His unconventional fighting style makes it difficult for his opponents to predict his movements, giving Pereira a tactical advantage in many fights. In a fight against Denny Roberts at UFC Fight Night 152, Pereira showcased a series of Capoeira movements that left the crowd and commentators in awe, before ultimately winning by KO. Another MMA fighter who takes inspiration from Capoeira is Conor McGregor, although he himself does not formally train in Capoeira. McGregor combines Capoeira movements with various techniques from other martial arts to create a unique and effective fighting style. This approach helps McGregor become one of the most unpredictable fighters in the octagon. 𝗬𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Capoeira with other martial arts techniques. This former UFC lightweight champion also has extraordinary striking ability and creativity in the octagon. Although he is known for often incorporating elements of capoeira into his fights, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 is actually known for his Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Like Michel Pereira, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏's fighting style tends to be flamboyant and acrobatic, making him one of the most exciting and innovative fighters in the UFC. But among the previous fighters who applied capoeira to their fights, Marcos Lelo Aurelio became the MMA fighter who pioneered capoeira in MMA matches. He himself has a strong background in capoeira, so it's not surprising that Aurelio often brings elements of this unique Brazilian martial art into the octagon in an entertaining way. Aurelio also often shows off spectacular capoeira attacks such as cartwheel kicks that confuse his opponents. Seeing the number of fighters who use capoeira techniques in their fights shows that the use of this martial art in MMA not only adds an element of surprise and flexibility to the fight, but also shows that traditional martial arts can be adapted and combined with modern techniques to create unique and effective fighting styles. Fighters like 𝗖𝗄𝗄𝗏𝗂𝗂𝗏 dos Santos, Michel Pereira, Marcos Aurelio, Conor McGregor, Anthony Pettis, and Marcos Aurelio are real examples of how capoeira can change the dynamics of fighting in the octagon, as well as provide unforgettable moments for MMA fans around the world.